You bet, Amanda, and we are set up and broadcasting live from Winfield, Kansas, upon the footprint of the university here in Winfield. Jack Leake, John Kohler here with you. Labette County 1-0 to start the year for back-to-back seasons. John, let's make it 2-0 tonight, shall we?
It's been a while since that one's happened, but we're on our way up. We started last year 1-0. We're starting this year 1-0, and let's just say this. The Grizzlies have vastly improved since last year, so it's certainly possible. It's a possibility tonight that we walk out of here 2-0, headed next week with some momentum.
As this is the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly football, we have many things in store for you in tonight's pregame show. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. As Winfield has a few fans here this evening as their band makes their way into the middle of the field here at Southwestern College to entertain the few fans that are scattered throughout the metal and purple bleachers here tonight. Grizzly fans, a few of them over there on the metal bleachers in the middle of the sunshine. As you can always, John, they always put the home team with their backs to the sun, those dirty dogs. But, a lot of things in store for the pregame show this evening. We're going to talk about players that stood out last week in Labette County's dominant victory in Altamont last Friday night, 42-14 over the Parsons Vikings. So some players that stood out there in that victory as far as offense and defense goes. An injury update, Labette County has a few players banged up tonight. And we're going to talk about an interesting situation that almost caused this game to be played at Labette County and was almost moved from Winfield to Altamont. So very interesting. Stay tuned for that about 8 minutes before kickoff. And then we're going to run down a scout of the Vikings, that is Winfield, as it is a very interesting offensive format that the Vikings run. More of the Tank Connection pregame show in 1 minute. This is Grizzly football on KLKc.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and
Well done, Winfield High Band. That was your national anthem for tonight's game, as that's a little bit earlier in a pregame ceremony at a venue than we're used to seeing the national anthem played. But that's all right. Okay, welcome back to the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly football, as we're going to move on now to a look back at last week's victory at home against Parsons. John, Labette County beat the Vikings 42-14. The scoring plays in that game, Aaron Wyrick had 5 touchdown passes, the sophomore quarterback getting his first varsity start, 2 touchdowns to Kagan Bates, 1 to Nolan Nash, 1 to Dylan Johnson, 1 to Barrett Heston, and the 6th and final touchdown of last week's victory came from Jamal Jackson, but not on the offensive side of the ball. Jamal was the beneficiary of an interception returned for a touchdown. It was firing on all cylinders last week, John. A dominant victory for the first time in a while.
Yeah, and it was refreshing to see that. I couldn't tell you the last time we saw Labette County just blow up victory. They just went out there and just manhandled someone. So it was a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't say surprise. Let me rephrase that. It was pleasant to watch. Those kids go out there, work their butts off all summer, and go out there and have a night like that against the town up north, just 10 miles, rivalry game. It was huge for the, confidence-wise for these kids, just to get it done. And they lost the past 2 years, so it's nice to see that occur. And a lot of those touchdowns you were talking about, there's a blocked punt.
Yep.
There's a couple turnovers on downs, interceptions, as you're saying. So it's not like as good as Aaron Wyrick was, the Grizzlies were certainly beneficiaries of the other phases of the ball as well.
Yeah, without question. It all kind of came together, and so that is where everyone kind of scratches their head, shakes their legs, wondering, okay, but what's going to happen tonight? What's going to happen against Winfield? Perhaps a more formidable opponent. No disrespect to Parsons. A 2-hour road trip, that plays a part. What's going to happen? Kind of a measuring stick game that everyone is just anxiously awaiting to take place. Okay, are we going to lose by 30? Same old, or are we going to hang around and, maybe pull this thing out from underneath these Winfield Vikings? So it's just that same question, that Grizzly fans were asking last season after winning the first game, but not winning again. A few players that stood out on the defensive side of the ball for Labette County. I'll tell you, John, that linebacking core is something else. Matthew Jarman, Roper Whitley, Bradley Black are a really nice triple threat in the linebacking area.
Yeah, I thought, all 3 of those guys played well, but I thought Bradley Black, he really stood out to me last week, in that linebacking group. As good as Roper Whitley was last year, he was tremendous last week as well, but Bradley Black did a tremendous job of setting the edge last week. He wasn't getting, quite as, tossed around like he was initially last year. Yeah. I've really noticed a huge improvement in just setting the edge, fighting off blocks, and making plays on the edge, which was a huge gap in that Grizzly defense last year. We just thought teams are just gaseous over and over again wherever they pleased to. Parsons couldn't manage anything at all in the ground game last week, and that's going to have to come into play here tonight against Winfield, who loves to run the ball.
Yeah, without question, and we're going to get to that, the scouting report on the Winfield Vikings, later on in the Tank Connection pregame show. Defensive backs, Camden Good, Deontay Fields. Deontay had 2 interceptions last week. Camden Good, sophomore, did some really nice things as well. So, John, talk about the DBs for Labette County and just the first play of the game. Yeah. Parsons scored on a 60-yard touchdown pass. Camden Good was on the coverage, and I say his name and call him out to give him credit. The rest of the game buttoned it up. Deontay Fields got a pass interference call. Next play, interception, and got another one later. Roper Whitley got an interception too. Defensive backs.
Yeah, early on, you're starting 2 young corners. Corner is the second hardest position outside of quarterback to play. I don't think there's going to be much argument with that statement. But, especially having young guys in there, and they bounce back quick. They learned pretty quick. They bounced back. They didn't want to get down. Came to good. defensively after letting up that big touchdown, made a huge stop on 3rd down. Then offensively, he came back, the 12-yard slant. They kind of got the momentum going in the Grizzlies' favor. Then Deontay Fields, of course, comes right back with the interception. And coverage from him the rest of the night really wasn't that bad.
Yep.
It was beneficiary of a bad ball, but 2 picks is 2 picks. You're never going to complain about it. That's a great game, obviously. And he played well over on Haygood all night. So, I mean, it's really, you just want to build upon stuff, right? You don't want to just say, oh, okay, that's our peak right there, where, we make a couple plays, but we also let up some. They're going to learn from those mistakes they made, and hopefully, play even better this week.
Few injuries before we step aside for a short break. A few injuries that took place for Labette County over the recent days. Jet Stig is going to be out tonight and for the foreseeable future. Really, really talented and very high IQ when it comes to the sports that he plays, football, basketball. Sophomore for Labette County, out tonight. Tayton Claiborne, I believe maybe a sternum issue.
I didn't hear.
A sternum issue or injury with Claiborne, vital piece for Labette County, out tonight. Camden Good and Bradley Black are both playing, but maybe hampered a bit by some injuries. I know Camden might have twisted an ankle, and Bradley had a bit of a groin problem bugging him over the last couple days. Typical football things taking place. Going to have to kind of work through it. We're going to step aside for 1 minute and come back with why this game was almost played in Altamont.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. The couple share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKcradio.com.
Winfield Vikings burst their way onto the AstroTurf wearing baby blue from top to bottom, as the two Vikings in front holding blue flags with a white W on them, signaling Winfield as they ran out from underneath a big blow-up blue Vikings helmet. And now our Grizzlies waltz their way onto the southeast corner of the field here at Southwestern College. So this game was about to be moved to Altamont, Kansas, and not played here. John, they had an issue with their field lights on one end of the stadium, and evidently they weren't working, and they were able to get them fixed, we hope, in time for tonight's game when it does get dark, as the sun is rapidly setting behind us. This game was almost a home game for Labette County.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. You just get out here on a Friday night and sun goes down, you're playing a game middle of the second quarter, and then, time to turn on the lights. Not work, and then you got to play the game in darkness. I actually don't know how that one would work. I feel like they would postpone it or call it wherever it was if that happened, but I guess, Jack, do you know when it was that they called it and said, we got the lights working or whatever?
I believe yesterday afternoon, I believe.
Yeah, so it was pretty tight for sure. But up to that point, was it going to be at Labette County throughout the week? I don't know how that goes.
They were obviously going to give Winfield time to correct the issue. I do know that they were trying to keep it at Winfield regardless, and they offered to move the game up to 4 o'clock and keep it here at Winfield so we wouldn't have to worry about nighttime and having to use the lights. But Keisha and both Coach Price for Labette County said no, we'd rather not. And so it's here. The lights are working. Kickoff is here in 5 minutes at 7 o'clock. John, we don't have as much time as I would have hoped, but let's talk about the Vikings of Winfield. I talked to Coach Hurley, defensive coordinator, Labette County, and he said he has seen them set up, and I believe he was referring to a singular game, 17 different formations. That's something that you see over the course of a season, he told me. He saw it in one game. They run unbalanced formations. I even asked Coach Hayward, what is it called? What are their sets called? And he said, I don't know. I've never seen them before.
Yeah, and it's not like this is an over-experienced team where you can kind of build on what you've done the previous year. This is a pretty young team as it is. But from what I understood, and we even got sent over, like, plays and the script and stuff when I asked for starting lineups today. So I'm sure I could go through and maybe dig out a couple of these formations. But it's going to be, a lot of it's going to be on the players today because, like you said, he's never seen some of these formations. I'm sure he conferred with Coach Price on that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to match up on the line and in the gaps, X's and O's stuff tonight. See how it's going to happen. Because, they were in a dogfight with Ark City last week.
Yep.
And, Ark City, for all intents and purposes, was not supposed to be too good this year. So I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens here. Labette County also came out in a couple wonky sets, too. So it's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Winfield won the toss and is going to receive to open up tonight's contest. They're going to take care of a issue here. But yeah, Winfield won the toss, is going to receive to open tonight's contest. John Kohler is going to give you a weather forecast. Kickoff is in 2.5 minutes. John, after you finish your weather forecast, if there's time, send it to a 30-second break, and I'll be right back. Weather forecast, John Kohler. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Well, folks, tonight in beautiful Winfield, Kansas, on the campus of Southwestern College, member of the NAIA? Yeah. All right, let's get to it because they're about to kick off. But it's a beautiful 85 degrees right now. It's going to drop down about 80, and then maybe in that latter half of the fourth quarter, 70, 75 right in there. It's going to take a deep half, about 8-mile-an-hour winds, 35% humidity, so nothing too bad. Jack said to send it to commercial, but it looks like we're about to kick off, so I'm going to keep you folks here. We'll just go with the flow. So we're going to have Fernando Rivera kicking off, foreign exchange student for the Grizzlies. Back deep, there's going to be 3 men for the Vikings. First number I see out there is number 2, Dane Chatham. Fernando was 5 for 5 on extra points last week. Certainly we saw the leg quite a bit. So Labette County did put up 42 points in that Week 1 victory against the Vikings. Whistles blow. Fernando set to kick off. He'll start his motion. And he'll boot it deep. This one towards the sideline will hit off a Viking, and that's going to be number 42, Jackson Davis. So there will be no penalty. It will instead just be marked down at the 14-yard line, 13-yard line.
John, I got back just in time to see that play, as they should not have touched that football. It was going to go out of bounds most likely, and Winfield would have gotten great field position to open the game as they move right to left below us on the turf, but the ball was touched and then went out of bounds. 1st and 10 Vikings, moving right to left as you view the dial.
Yeah, they're coming out in the I personnel. 12 personnel will be a stretch out to the left side. That's going to be number 5. Bringing him down is Bradley Black. As I believe that came in good. Tried to set the edge out there at the corner spot. Number 5 for the Vikings was the ball carrier there. Nothing too bad. That's going to be Lindenman. So that's one of the formations, Jack. We'll kind of play a little word search here with the formations. Each time we'll see them, we'll cross one off. As they'll come out the same formation, this time flip to the right side.
Kellen Gibson, the quarterback, under center. 6 down lineman for the Vikings. Ball's on the deck. Labette County, Camden Goods says the good guys have it, and they do. Turnover Vikings on snap number 2 of tonight's contest. The men in white, that's your Grizzlies, are going to set up shop on the right hash at the Winfield 18-yard line.
Now, was that Roper Bradfield or Chris Stevens? I couldn't see which Grizzly came up with the football there. One of the two got to the ball there, but uncharacteristic issue, at least from the past, from what we've seen from the Vikings, is turnovers and that sort of thing. And Grizzlies certainly needed to force a couple here, and now they're going to have a great field position at the Viking 20.
Aaron Wyrick coming off of a game where he threw the pigskin for 5 touchdowns. Jamal Jackson right behind our sophomore quarterback. And it's going to be a pass in the air. Wide open, Bates at the 5-yard line. Thrown down at the 4. First and goal, Grizzlies. One play for 15 yards.
Beautiful RPO there from the Grizzlies. That backer came flying down. Aaron Wyrick read that, found Bates on the slant.
Man, they're moving up tempo. I bet this will go to Jackson. They give it to Jamal up the middle, little bit of room, and snuffed out at the 4-yard line, maybe 3. So second and goal from inside the 4-yard line, we'll say. Labette County going for the throat early.
Looking good so far. Quick turnover. A good ball to Bates over the middle as the Grizzlies set up here as second and goal.
Again, Winfield in their home blue uniforms. Labette County road whites. 2 receivers left. Second and goal. Counter. Jamal left side stood up. Third and goal from the 4. Wow. Up front is the battle we won last week, and Winfield is in the backfield every play.
Yeah, it doesn't help that we're down here in the red zone right here. It makes it a little bit easier for the defense to get up close to the line of scrimmage here. Everything's kind of condensed.
Going to have to maybe get this outside the hashes here. Ball's on the left hash, Labette left to right. And Winfield jumped, no call. Is that because the offensive line didn't react?
No, he just didn't cross into the neutral zone, I believe.
Wyrick in the gun, Jamal behind him. Winfield comes again. Jamal with room, right side, has more, leans, touchdown Grizzlies. Jamal Jackson with a 5-yard touchdown run to put Labette County on the board, 6-0 with 10:15 left in just the first quarter after a Winfield fumble. I was getting concerned we wouldn't capitalize there.
Yeah, and I thought there we may have had a chance to be stopped there. I was kind of thinking in my head, cut up. But no, Jamal's a good enough runner where he stays on his path. He'll find a way in. It takes more than one man to stand him up straight. So we'll see our first Fernando Rivera extra point of the evening. It's 5 for 5 last week, as I said earlier when he kicked off. Bates is the holder.
Rivera set to kick. He didn't miss last week. And he won't miss this week, at least on that attempt. And this is a collegiate field, so the goalposts are a little bit closer together.
Yeah, I was about to bring that point up, Jack. This is a little bit more difficult. But Fernando's just going to knock that one right down the pipe. Grizzlies are leading this one early on, 7-0.
We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Grizzly Football on KLKc.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Davis on the return there, I believe. Am I incorrect on that? The one that touched the ball earlier that set the Vikings up with 1st and 10 from the 14, I think.
Gibson, the quarterback, under center. 2 backs behind him. He gives it to the deep one. It's Lindenman. Right side, tries to bounce inside the tackles and does so well. A nice run of 7, maybe 8 for Lindenman to open the contest.
Yeah,
or the second drive, sorry.
Yeah, so where we saw the Grizzlies really thrive last week was kind of contained in that outer parts of that box there. Vikings feel like they have certain matchups there with the tackles and our ends. They're taking advantage of it early on with those stretch plays out of that I formation there.
Chris Stevens on the tackle for Labette County.
Which we haven't really seen of her. We're early on in the first quarter, so there hasn't been too many plays, but it's been a lot of the same as they're going to go 5 wide here.
Empty set, Gibson in the gun. He'll call a man over from the right. Jet sweep, they give it. Coming off of a block and making a stop. Michael Reed snuffed that one out. 3rd and short for the Vikings. On the carry, I believe, was Dane Chatham.
Yeah, Reed does a nice job there, showing the outside shoulder there, forcing Chatham to cut back up, and Reed does a tremendous job of fighting back to the inside and making the play there. Great play there from the junior, and he made a couple plays just like that one last week against the Vikings. Last year, he played that same spot. He's certainly a playmaker on both sides of the ball, left tackle and defensive tackle.
Here's one of those interesting sets. 3 backs right behind Gibson. They'll snap it. They'll give it up the middle. Lindenman has the first, tries to get near midfield, and he'll be stopped about the 44-yard line. Again, Winfield moving right to left. They'll have a fresh set of downs. Head coach for Winfield, Monty Lewis. Labette County, Sean Price.
Yeah, that's a true wishbone there. That stuff you turn on the old gray and white tape from the Oklahoma Sooners back in the day. That's what they kind of ran there. That's just a power right. They ran there, certainly effective.
Another wishbone set here with 7 down linemen. Gibson the snap, Lindenman again, similar play, and it's stopped better this time by our Grizzlies. Gain of just a few this time. 2nd down and about 6 coming up. 8:10 to go, first quarter. 0-7, Labette County in front.
I think it's a wishbone. It could be a flex. I don't know. My brain's a little garbled right now. This heat's getting to me a little bit. It's about 80 degrees out there, about 95 in here, so.
2nd down and 6 for the Vikings, moving right to left at the heart of the field. Labette County, assuming Winfield's going to run, stacks the box. Counter left side. There's room, and collapsing in on the ball carrier is Roper Whitley and Jamal Jackson. On the carry is Jackson Davis for Winfield. 3rd down and short for Winfield. Very methodical offense that loves to run the football as Kellen Gibson, their quarterback, about each play has walked all the way over and gotten the call from their head man before running back to the huddle. So they burn a lot of clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one way of, and when you have 17 formations, you kind of don't want to do signals. That's a lot of signals to remember, so it's better to hear that from your coach. Quarterback sneak up the middle. He'll get loose there, stiff arm. Fields will manage to bring him down, though, but I wouldn't say a sneak. That's a design play there to take advantage of a gap the Grizzlies left unguarded. They came out in that same wishbone set. He just kind of took a step back when his guards get on the inside to kind of lead the way. There's about 3 blue jerseys in front of the quarterback there leading the way.
Kellen Gibson on the carry. That was obviously a design play as he got the ball and kept his head up and his body erect and found the gap and shot it. 1st and 10, Winfield right to left. They're moving our Grizzlies up front at the 32-yard line of Labette County. 6:30 first quarter. Gibson bends at the knees, takes the snap, run to the right side, picking up 6, maybe 7 yards on the far side is Dane Chatham.
Yeah.
Shoved out there. Looks like Deontay Fields in on the action again on the far sideline.
Yeah, the Vikings early on are doing a nice job of trying to space us out so far and attacking that middle like we saw on that quarterback zone up the middle. But so far, the Vikings have been doing a tremendous job running the football on the Grizzlies. Something that was a woe for the Grizzlies the past couple of years.
Wishbone formation again. Gibson, design run up the middle, has the first down, and boy, they just shove it, shove it. 6 yards of play every time. 1st and 10 Winfield inside the red zone for the first time tonight. On the Vikings' first drive tonight, they fumbled the football on the second play of the game, and Labette County scored 4 plays later on a 5-yard touchdown run by Jamal Jackson. Now, with 6 minutes and counting left in the first quarter, Winfield is on the Labette County 20-yard line, threatening to score.
He'll come out in a split set here. To his left is going to be Moa Lee Vitale. I think that's how we're supposed to pronounce it.
Gibson takes the snap. It's a run to the right side. It does go to Moa Lee Tale, and he's going to gain about 9. 2nd down and 1 for Winfield coming up. We've seen 4 different ball carriers carry the football tonight, including the quarterback, and I've been told you never know when he's going to throw it either, so just a lot to look out for.
Yeah, this is really testing, really the fundamentals of this Grizzly defense and what they're in, whether the players are going to stay there and do their job, regardless of what this Viking, offense is coming out. And obviously you got to adjust what formation they give you, but a lot of the principles are going to be the same. You're going to run what you're going to run defensively.
2 receivers to the left. Moali'i Tale on the carry again, has the first, tries to bowling ball his way down the alley, hits a few pins, and is down at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal Winfield, right to left they move, ball on the right hash. Labette County has played fine defense, but they've just gotten a taste of the old run right down your throat pill.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of the 3 yards and cloud of dust here from the Vikings early on. Whitley in on the tackle there. And they're going to come back out in this wishbone set. It's probably going to be a power left here, I'd say. Something to the left side.
Gibson keeps it himself, has his teammates shoving forward, and he's getting awful close to that goal line. He'll be down at the 1. So 2nd down and goal for Winfield at the 1-yard line. It's 7-0 Grizzlies. We've almost surpassed the 4-minute mark as the sun is setting behind us in the press box here at Southwestern College campus, playing on turf tonight. Beautiful campus here in Winfield.
If I'm the Vikings, I'm just going to run the same sneak that they've been running, which I feel like I'm saying the wrong things. Sneaks shouldn't really go that far up the field, but it has been for the Vikings so far.
Gibson keeps it, shoving forward, and I believe he is in. Touchdown Winfield. A pretty effortless drive for the Vikings there, as they never really had a tough situation. They just kept going, and kept going. 7-6 Labette County, as Winfield made a mistake on their first possession, and thank goodness Labette County made them pay for it, as on to kick is Jackson Davis. He actually had a carry just moments ago, so the running back on to kick the extra point and try to tie this game for Winfield. The snap, the hold, and the kick is far from good, as it came off his foot awkward and there was pressure. 7-6 Grizzlies maintain. 3:30 left in the first. Back in a minute with Grizzly football.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
Grizzly fans to Southwestern College campus. 7-6 Labette County here on the road. Labette County scored on their opening drive as they got the ball on the Winfield 20 after a Viking fumble. Then Winfield got the ball back and marched all the way down the field, never throwing the football once, and pounded it in, but missed the extra point. Winfield with a nice kick here all the way back to the 5. Heels in the dirt for Labette County, stood up, nowhere to run. The return man, Nolan Nash. We have a flag on the play. That's never good for the return team.
I want to say there's like a shot block or something. I don't know. Someone dove at a leg and it didn't really work, and that's when the flag came out. I assume it's going to be on the Grizzlies here. But that special teams unit of the Vikings did let up a kickoff return for 6. So, don't look too bad there. Shot up the field, stayed in the gaps. Grizzlies are going to be set up here 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line, roughly.
So the penalty was on Labette County, and that'll back them up half the distance to the goal, as the call made by the PA announcer was head-to-head contact. So
like, I don't.
There's head-to-head contact on every football play.
Yeah, intentional. That's targeting. I don't know.
Left
I'm
to
stop assuming that.
left to right, Labette County moves. Wyrick takes the snap, a give to Jackson. Looked like he had a gap near the right hash, but he gained 0 yards on that play. As the mascot for Southwestern College is like a black cat, and they call their mascot the Jinx. I find that really cool, actually. Like, can you imagine saying touchdown Jinx? Like, you know, that's just cool to me. And it's a black cat, like with a big arched back, like Halloween here at midfield. It's really cool, actually. 2nd and 10, Labette County. Wyrick looks to the sideline to get the call.
Yeah, let's hope that black cat in midfield isn't putting a jinx on us.
Yeah, it's definitely sending a message, making that the selection of their mascot. Trying to get in the head of any superstitious players that come here and play. It's a pass for Labette County out to the left side. Bates is going to have to make a play and can't. 2nd down and 11, but a late flag flew in, as that could benefit Labette County. It came via the back judge.
Yeah,
unless it was pass interference.
VAR official initially pointed towards the Grizzlies here, but
that was the latest holding call I've ever seen in my life. Bates was on the ground when the flag came out.
Yeah, and it was a back official as well, so I'm a little confused on there, but.
So it'll be 3rd down in a very, very long ways, unless he just elects to decline it. Or second. Okay, he declined it. So it's 3rd down and 11 for Labette County, all the way back at their own 7-yard line.
Yeah, we saw the Grizzlies last week run that bubble with not too much success. Tried it again this week. Bates just unable to find a whole lot of ground.
2 receivers right, 2 receivers left of Aaron Wyrick. Snaps the ball, it's a draw play. Jackson up the middle, runs into 2 Vikings after a gain of a couple. 4th down and long, Labette County will punt left to right. There's really not much wind tonight, as last Friday there was a lot of wind in Altamont.
Yeah, with Barrett Heston out tonight, I think the Vikings are a little bit more confident to go man-on-man and really press up, not really worried too much about that deep threat of the Grizzlies. As you know, I know they're out here in punt formation, but previously something I kind of noticed was that all 3 downs, they were just lined up tight against our receivers.
Nolan Nash on to punt. High snap, catches it as he's going to tuck this one and run to the right side, and he's tackled at the 5-yard line. So Winfield will have 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Labette County, if they want to win ball games, can't do that.
No, and he may not have felt like he had time, but if you're an observer or someone not in the moment, you feel like he may have had a chance once he cleared out to that right side to maybe just get something off the foot real quick. Regardless if it went 5 or 10 yards, I mean, it's better than 1st and 10 for the Vikings at your own 6-yard line. You can't have moments like this, especially against a team as methodical as Winfield.
Gibson, the quarterback for Winfield, takes the snap in a very favorable position. Run to the left side, touchdown Winfield. In the end zone that time is number 42, Jackson Davis. As he's their kicker, I believe, at least on extra points. They might go for 2 here. We'll see. It looks like it.
Yeah, a good block from Gabriel Sutton, the left tackle there, to really seal that edge. Good, our corner on that near side got kind of sucked in and then couldn't stay outside and contain it. Just really good blocking there from the Vikings on that left side. I'm really impressed thoroughly by that group over there, as Sutton and I believe that left guard is Conklin, both seniors, clear a nice hole there.
All set up by a botched Labette County punt for the second week in a row. Winfield got first and goal from the 5 right there. Here's a pass play. Labette County read it well, but a nice ball from Gibson to the back of the end zone to Adam Everett. There is a flag. With 1:17 left in the first quarter, it's 14-7 Winfield, but we have a flag pending here.
Yeah, they were in 22 there, 2 backs, 2 tight ends. Just lost track of that tight end on that far side.
An eligible man downfield for Winfield, so they're going to retry the point after attempt. So that'll take it back to 12-7 Winfield. Again, 1:17, first quarter. To open the game, Winfield got the football, fumbled on the second play. Labette County scored 4 plays later. Winfield got the ball back, marched all the way down and scored. And on the last possession, as you heard, for Labette County, Nolan Nash was forced to roll out after a high snap on a punt and was tackled inside the 6-yard line, and Winfield just punched it in. So they're going to go for 2 still.
3 backs here.
From the 8-yard line for the 2-point conversion. 3 backs lined up like ducks behind Gibson. He'll keep it. He's pressured by Roper Whitley, throws across his body, and it is dropped at the 1-yard line. Labette County dodged a bullet after looking advantageous from the jump. Winfield still almost converted. 12-7 Winfield. Labette County's got to hang in there on the road. Back in a minute with Grizzly football.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. The couple share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKcradio.com.
Winfield set to boot it away right to left just below us here at Southwestern Campus in Winfield, Kansas. Ball's in the air, spins backwards, lands at the 10, and goes out of bounds, and Labette County will have favorable field position on their 3rd drive of the game.
First one went smoothly. RPO hit Bates in the middle. Eventually score with a Jackson touchdown run off that right side. Previous one, you get stuffed on first down, run a bubble, it gets nowhere, and then you run a draw. So we'll see what the Grizzlies are going to try to do here, coming out early on after having mixed results through their first 2 possessions. And the Vikings, I'm feeling more confident than ever right now, coming off 2 touchdowns. That one off a botched punt by the Grizzlies. And after a nice drive earlier on as well. Grizzlies with the ball at the 35. Vikings with the lone safety high. Pressed up elsewhere. Corners will sag off now.
Dylan Johnson tight end for Labette County on the left side of the line. heavy on the left. Wyrick rolls out to his left. It's caught by Johnson at the 40. First down, Grizzlies out to the 42. Aaron Wyrick is good in the pocket and out of it, and he had to throw that and kind of square his body because he was a right-handed person moving to the left.
Yeah, it was a lot of good fundamentals shown from Wyrick there, moving right to left as a right-handed passer. Got enough touch over there to hit Johnson, who I think they're doing a nice job of using so far. Had a touchdown last week. Has a big first down there to help the Grizzlies out. And now he's lined up out wide.
2 receivers left. Yeah, Dylan Johnson, one of them. False start on Dylan right there. So it'll be 1st and 15, Labette County back to their own 37, 38-yard line. Or 42, sorry.
Yeah, the Vikings are just manning up. They got 2 safeties back. I don't think they're too worried right now about that Grizzly speed. So, I mean, if they really wanted to, they probably could go just cover 1 high if you trust your guys that much. But right now, they're just staying back with those 2 safeties.
1st and 15 Grizzlies. It's another pass. Wyrick across the field, well high for Nash, as there was a corner on the coverage. Hutto and the safety Davis were closing in on the ball. So 2nd and 15. Presume we might see a run here, and it's going to have to be for decent yardage, or else it's 3rd and long. 20 seconds, first quarter. Labette County down 12-7.
Yeah, and this is why penalties are so huge, especially after you get a first down or any time on a drive. They're drive killers. That one sets them back 5, so then, okay, 1st and 15, we got to throw the ball here. You don't get it, now you're stuck 2nd and 15 in a harder situation.
It will be a pass across the middle, intercepted. It could be returned for a touchdown, and it will be. Touchdown, Winfield. Jackson Davis on the interception, returned for a touchdown. As that ball just kind of went right to him. So it's 18-7 Winfield, 13 seconds, first quarter.
Yeah, that's a no-no. That's a no-no ball when you're throwing on the inside. You don't leave that high and on the outside. It has to be low inside if you're not hitting him right in the numbers. And we saw 2 of those previously on that slant. He threw it high and outside as well. Thankfully, there's no one back there for the Grizzlies' hopes anyways, and that one got caught. He may have had a chance there had it been on the money, but it just, after, I don't know if it's a footwork or something, but just an errant throw there from Wyrick.
Winfield down and ready to go for 2. Gibson, the quarterback, bent all the way down near his ankles, hands it off, counter to the left. They're going to run it in, but there's a flag on the play as the yellow flag is laying limp at the 4-yard line. As the back judges are on fire tonight, John. They're just throwing flags every play.
Yeah, woke up feeling dangerous, as some would say.
As this one's going to be on Winfield. I didn't see the signal. They're going to retry the attempt. Again, they lead Labette County 18-7. They've scored 18 unanswered points after Labette County put the first touchdown on the board, as they've made it look pretty easy, as it looks like it might have been a hold or something, as it's backed all the way to the 14-yard line of their own. So their 2-point conversion is going to be from the Labette County 14-yard line.
Well, I'm going to assume they're going to throw the ball here. They're going to have tight end to the right. I believe that's Everett. Have a quick timeout here by the Vikings, as they're going to want to discuss this one.
We'll keep it here and thank some sponsors for making our job possible to travel all the way to Winfield and bring you back home or on the internet, Labette County Grizzly football. Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Tank Connection, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray, Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Vollmer Cement Finishing, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, the corner store of Altamont, SEK Orthopedics, Doctors Mosier and Meister, as well as Olson Ace Hardware. Been a fast but yet long first quarter, as whenever teams run the ball it goes fast, but when they score it goes slow. 2-point conversion attempt is unsuccessful. Incomplete pass for the Vikings. both teams trot off the field, Labette County's going to have to be patient and walk their way back into this game and not run their way back into it. They trail 18-7, 13 seconds first quarter. Back in a minute with Grizzly football.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Nolan Nash, the return man for Labette County. He'll get out to the 20-yard line, and the clock will freeze at 7 seconds first quarter. Labette County, again, has given up 18 unanswered points to Winfield.
Yeah, certainly have not done themselves any favors. Talked to the coaches early on, or earlier, pregame, said they'd have a chance, if they gave themselves a chance, if they played, mistake-free, did their job so far. I mean, early on it looked really good, but now you make a couple mistakes, now you find yourself down 2 scores here in a hostile environment.
Last play of the first quarter, Jackson gets the ball in the gut of his belly all the way across midfield. Jamal Jackson is going to score a 78-yard touchdown on the last play of the first quarter.
Well, that's the benefit of having that man in your backfield. Got a nice pulling block there by number 69. Find that number. Okay, we got a new man in the game for the Grizzlies. I can't find that number. I believe that's Lucas Hayward. I don't know, the right guard gave him a good block, and then Jamal took care of the rest, found a seam on the outside, took it 78 yards to the house. Just like that, the Grizzlies are only down 5.
As after Jamal trotted it in, it was silent here at the arena, and the PA announcer went, "Touchdown, Grizzlies." 2-point conversion. They give it to Jamal left side. Gets in between the tackles into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Boy, 18-15 Winfield. Hey now, as that's the end of the first quarter, and there were 33 points scored. We'll be back in a minute. Jamal Jackson, 78-yard touchdown burst.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKcradio.com.
To kick it off for the second time tonight to the home team, the Vikings of Winfield. Jamal Jackson with a, by my calculation, roughly 78-yard touchdown run. As, boy, I just thought maybe, you know, run up the middle into the first quarter. Boy, Jamal Jackson looked me in my eyes without looking at me and said, "Watch this," and ran it in. He also got the 2-point conversion, so it's 18-15 Winfield. Rivera kicks it off right to left. Good hearty kick. Backing up to the 10-yard line is Chatham. He'll get across the 30. We've got to get him. He's across midfield. He's gone.
I kind of watched that one happen there. Cole Stevens really rushed up hard in his lane, got out of it. Chatham made him miss, found Stevens' lane. And from there, I mean, there was just no Grizzly that was going to be able to make a play on it. Really smart return there by Chatham to recognize where that Grizzly defender came and find that hole.
Second special teams error for Labette County tonight. Both of them giving up touchdowns. 24-15 now the score, 11:45 second quarter. A lot of scoring in this one, and historically that won't favor Labette County, but, you know, putting up 42 points last night. Offensive line having a great drive last time, giving Jamal a gap to score a touchdown. Who knows? Labette County might be able to put up a lot of points again. The kick for Winfield is good this time. Just hugged the left white upright. 25-15 home team in front of our Grizzlies. Back in a minute with more Grizzly football.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
Burst out in front of Labette County by 10 points after a kickoff return for touchdown. Dane Chatham on the return for Winfield, the 5'9" sophomore, having an impact. Squib kick from Winfield to Labette County. They're going to have to get it, and Fields does at the 20 and goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Special teams is huge, John, and you don't realize how big it is until poor things happen.
Yeah, it's one of those, you just don't notice it until something goes really wrong. There's been two poor special teams plays so far by the Grizzlies that have led directly to a Viking touchdown. Saw one earlier. Nolan Nash got a high snap in the zone end zone, rolled out, couldn't get a punt off, just took a tackle, and then right there we saw Chatham take advantage of, you know, the overzealous Grizzly, you know, gunners there, and found an open lane and took it all the way to the house. Wyrick will start play here.
Two receivers to the right. Wyrick takes the snap. Jamal hit firmly, cyclones his way off that tackler, and then rallying the troops is Winfield defensively. Gain of nothing, second down and 10.
Yeah, good initial wrap there by Moa Lee Tole. And then I believe it was number 46 who came in, which I don't have a number for that as well. Sorry, folks. We'll go ahead and say that was Jackson Gatson. Saw 56 instead. Came in to finish off Jamal there.
Jackson, fresh off of a drive where he ran it in from 70 yards out, right behind our quarterback. Jackson gets it again. Goes right side. A sea of blue is all he sees. Loss of a couple. It's either a lot or a little for the back right now, as the gaps just aren't very wide. Third down and a dozen.
Yeah, right now the Grizzly offensive line, you know, after letting, you know, allowing a huge Jamal run. Kind of been struggling so far tonight a little bit, at least as far as getting a push. We saw this a couple times last week as well. So it'd be interesting to see if the Grizzlies can establish a ground game.
Go ball down the right sideline. It was a good one, caught back shoulder. First down, Grizzlies. What a throw, what a catch. Nolan Nash from Aaron Wyrick.
Wyrick does a nice job putting them on high and outside, and what a tremendous job there by Nash on the outside to track that ball and stay in bounds as well. 'Cause that's not an easy catch at all to make, especially he didn't turn around and make it either. Kind of just tracked it all the way in. Oh, right there, and hits me in the chest.
1st and 10, Labette County, right at the 50-yard line, near the tip of the Black Cat's tail. At midfield, Jackson swarmed by Vikings. 2nd down and long. The runs up the middle are tough to come by.
Yeah, right now the Grizzly O-line is having a troublesome time is getting any kind of footing, or not even footing, just finding any way to get a push there, as Jamal, outside that touchdown, it's been a hard night so far for him, having success on the ground.
We'll see what Labette County elects to do on another 2nd and long situation. They trail by 10 on the road. 9:40, 2nd quarter and counting. 2 left, 2 right, ball on the right hash, moving right to left. Wyrick with a give. Jackson, stuffed. 3rd and 10 coming up.
We're just not making blocks right now. I mean, that's all it is. Right there is a bit of a draw. I believe there's some hope for Jamal there, but I believe that's number 52 for the Vikings. He came in quickly to make the play. Elliott Dutton. Or actually, I'm not going to assume that's him. I'll say that one's Gatton as well. It's a little bit hard for me right now seeing some of these numbers. Trying to give credit where it's due. Either way, a good play there defensively for the Vikings to wrap up Jamal.
The ball is right at the middle of the Black Cat at center field. Wyrick, pressured from the front, back, he's dropped, ball came out, Winfield has it, but there's a flag on the ground, and they let the play continue, so it might be offsides on Winfield. The flag came right when Wyrick took the snap.
I don't know, he could have got hands on the face of Johnson down here as well, but I believe it's going to be between Johnson and whoever this corner was for the Vikings here on this near side.
Oh boy, that's on Labette County. It'll be 1st and 10 Winfield at midfield. Usually false start, the play's blown dead, but, well.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know why that one was allowed to continue. I mean, you blow that one dead. Unfortunate there for the Grizzlies. As Reed's going to trot off here.
1st and 10, Winfield left to right, flex formation again. 3 backs lined up, right to left behind Gibson, the quarterback. 6 down linemen, 7. He'll retrieve the pigskin, give it to the right, keeping it outside the tackles. Lindenman is tackled out of bounds at the 40-yard line, gaining 9 yards. 2nd down and 1. Coach Price in the ear of the official on the far side of the field.
Oh, yeah. Bradley Black down here is fighting for his life to get off this block of this Viking, offensive lineman, as he had his whole, mitt right around him, just hanging on for dear life, allowing the ball carrier to get up there. So right now the Grizzlies are just unable to stop this rushing attack of the Vikings. It's really just been methodical. They've gotten what they've wanted so far.
2nd down and 1 for Winfield. Same formation, give left side. Looked like it was going to be stuffed, but continuing to run is Davis all the way inside the 35-yard line. Winfield's really good also with 8:30 left in the 2nd quarter. A lot of their runs on 1st down go for about 9 yards. So then they have 2nd and 1, and it's easy to get another first.
Right there is just a missed tackle. I mean, the containment was there. The containment was there. It's just that on the interior part, they didn't do their job and fill that gap right there. I couldn't see numbers and names. I'm going to assume it is. But right there is a good job by the Grizzly defender on the outer half. Kind of keep that within. When you do that, you're expecting your teammates to float to the ball and unable to make a tackle there.
1st and 10, Vikings threatening to expand their already 10-point lead. Labette County, 3 turnovers tonight. A flag from the back judge again, as that's going to be delay of game. That is his job to call that. So that'll back up Winfield 5 yards. So the punt where Nash tucked it and ran, that's a turnover on downs, turnover. Aaron just fumbled a little bit ago, second turnover. And then there was another hiccup earlier. Winfield just returned it on special teams.
Yeah.
Winfield returned a kickoff on special teams. So only 2 turnovers for Labette County tonight, but they've done multiple things that injure you just as much as a ball club. 1st and 15, left to right Winfield, ball at the Grizzly 27. Gibson will roll out right. He can throw it, and he'll keep his eyes up, flip it, and it is caught. Looked like he might have came back in bounds. He's going to score. Touchdown Winfield, but I thought he ran back in bounds after stepping out.
I didn't see anything downfield. I was watching Gibson out there on that right side. It looked like kind of a spot concept, if that makes sense. Rollout. It wasn't really a flood. That was a rollout to a flood because they had that deep out. Yeah. And the Grizzly defender who's supposed to be on, I didn't see. I'm struggling out here right now, Jack, to get names and numbers, but Grizzly defender came up and he saw Gibson running. He should have stayed home. He should have stayed home until he knew he was across the line. And as a result, Vikings have a wide open man, just a one-on-one with who that was good, the defensive back there. And yeah, easy walk-in touchdown as a result.
As they had a flag on the ground, and the referees discussed and then waved off the flag. So the touchdown is good. 31-15 Winfield. 31-15 Winfield. 8:22 left in the second quarter. They're going to kick an extra point. The kick is on its way. Low line drive. Creeps over the bar, and it's good. 32-15 Winfield up 16. Make that 17 on Labette County with 8:20 left until half. Back in 1 minute. This is Grizzly football on KLKc.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
(32-15) Winfield in front of Labette County with 8:22 left in the second quarter. The kick is in the air, bit of a pooch and squib to the right side, and it's going to be fielded.
Did he get a foot out when he initially fielded it? I don't know why a flag came out if he didn't. Smart play there by Fields if he managed to get a foot out. It kind of reminds me of Ty Montgomery laying out of bounds. Drew penalty a couple years ago.
So he could draw the penalty?
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know if you can up at that level anymore, but I'm sure it's still the same down here anyways, in Acacia.
As the flag will stand after a bit of a meeting between the white hat and the official that made the call that the ball went out of bounds. It was touched by Fields pretty close to the same time that it went out of bounds.
Well,
so the refs had to discuss that.
Well, I don't know if the ball was out of bounds. It's more Fields being
okay.
out of bounds.
Right. As Coach Monty Lewis for Winfield is getting his explanation granted from the official, and they are still conversing at the 25-yard line. He's asked to go back to his coaching box, and play will resume. Labette County needs a spark. 2 receivers right and left. Jackson behind Wyrick. 5 linemen for Labette County.
Twin receivers on his right and left.
Ball goes to the kneecaps of Wyrick. He'll fake the toss, run up the middle, try to bounce inside the left tackle, and he'll gain 1 yard.
Yeah, right there, just targeting that right end of the Vikings. I believe that's Elliott, that right end. Also the tight end on the other side. So you're targeting him there. Wyrick made the right read, just nowhere to go, really. So Grizzlies still a little bit stagnant on offense here in this first half. That's that first scoring drive in the long Jackson run.
7:50 second quarter. Jackson's going to get one up the middle, and he's ripped to the ground, shedding off of the blocking ability of Mason Hoppus. Was the Viking making the tackle in the backfield for a loss of 4.
Yeah, that was just fast. That was fast. Jamal had no chance whatsoever. Hayward pulled, and by the time Jackson got the ball, he was already being swallowed up by that sea of blue coming through. So some problems early on with that rushing attack of the Grizzlies, at least up front.
3rd down and 12 for Labette County. 32-15 Winfield the score. Wyrick's going to throw this one. Step into a crowded pocket, and then it's an incomplete pass for Labette County as Aaron was hit as he threw it, and Labette County is going to be forced to punt on 4th and long as Coach Price has a hand on both hips and watches on, and now he'll have a chat with quarterback Aaron Wyrick. Coming on to punt is Nolan Nash. Stands filled in for sure here in Winfield. Still pretty bare, although it is a collegiate stadium with much more seating than we have back in Altamont, but Labette County fans traveled well tonight.
Not much of a pocket there for Wyrick to really step up into. I thought he may have pulled that ball down. That's kind of why I was wondering if he fumbled it there.
A clean snap this time to Nash and a good punt. Caught at the 35 in stride. Lethal Davis is the lethal returner is Davis, and he'll take it in for a touchdown on the far side of the field as he got to run in front of all of our Grizzlies standing on the sideline, and all they could do was turn and watch him run it in. That is 2 special teams touchdowns for Winfield tonight.
He just outran everyone there. I mean, no one wanted to go chase him down there. Davis got a running start on the return as well and just showed off the speed there, getting to the edge and never looking back.
38-15 Winfield. This one's really gotten out of hand with 6:49 to go in the second quarter. Winfield threatening to put up loads of points this evening, as this kick is going to be no good. It's blocked and picked up. Wanting to return it was Matthew Jarman, but he just has to hand it to the official and waltz his way back to the sideline.
Yeah, that whole long snapper holder exchange should only take roughly a second or 2. I mean, it really shouldn't take too long, and then to the kick another half a second, but Winfield likes to take their time with that. I mean, I'm not going to harp on them too much. They're up 38-15, but so far, the extra points, of the Vikings have not looked very efficient.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. They don't look like a well-oiled machine.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. Labette County trails big on the road.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
(38-15) Winfield in front of Labette County. Is this one was one of those, you wanted to really keep a close eye on, as far as, man, Labette County might win this one, and while they still certainly can, it just slowly but yet quickly got out of hand. It's been a funky start here in Winfield.
Return from Fields as he'll fight off a couple Viking defenders and get up to the 30. Good start to this possession for the Grizzlies as Fields with a nice return has them set up here at about the 30.
The way the game started, my point is, the way the game started, it doesn't feel necessarily like it's a clobbering because, you know, Labette County was throwing the ball well. Jamal had a 70-yard touchdown run. Winfield fumbled, which rare mistake. So I suppose just the way the game script was early in the first quarter and into the end of it just makes it not feel like this game's out of hand. And Labette County can still get back in it. They just need a couple scores and a couple stops before halftime. Wyrick trying to do just that on the field, giving it to his back. A flag flies as Jackson flies right to the ground on the far right hash as we have an injured Viking down near the 28-yard line.
I hope it was just a cramp or something like that as they're going to take a look at him there, but yeah, good looking run play initially. It looks like maybe a couple Vikings got off a couple of the blocks on the interior. I don't want to harp on any of them, but good pull there from Hayward. Jackson was falling through, and I'm assuming some of those down blocks to kind of cover up the pulling guard, just to kind of miss their guy there. And that's kind of been, you know, tail of the tape so far early on, or early in this game. I want to say early, but we're halfway through the second quarter now. Just Vikings just shedding off blocks and eating up this Grizzly ground attack before it can get rolling.
I believe the flag was on Labette County as the injured Viking makes his way off the field. It's Devin Cayley.
So as reset the play clock here, I believe is what the official was motioning for.
Second down and about 13 for Labette County, maybe a long 12. They trail by 23 here on the road. 6:30 left in the half. It has been a really long first half. A lot of points scored in this one. 53 total points between both these teams scored in this half. Two shallow safeties with their heels at the 18. Flip to the right for Wyrick. It's caught nearing the 30-yard line and still fighting for yardage. It's only a gain of a couple. I can't see who caught it.
I want to say that may have been Nolan over on our right side. I'm not too sure
Nolan
about
Nash.
That's who it was, yeah. He was just fighting. I thought maybe he would have just been wrapped up pretty quick there for a yard, but he said no. I mean, we didn't gain much out of it, but I kind of like that concept there, a tunnel screen initially. Looked like he may have been able to try to get inside, you know, his lineman there.
Wyrick back to throw, throws to the sideline. Diving for the catch was Kagan Bates, and also in on the effort was the cornerback, Chatham. Boy, he has been everywhere tonight. It'll be 4th down and 12 for Labette County, forced to punt it away right to left one more time.
Yeah, even though it ended up incomplete, I mean, I still like kind of the aggressiveness there.
Sure.
With Bates running that out route on that left side, and that's a far throw to make from that right hash, and to do so, make it kind of close. I mean, I know there's a couple of Viking defenders who would have been hard had it been on the money for Bates to catch. The concept itself looked pretty nice there for the Grizzlies.
Better snap here. Nash able to get another one off. Stays in bounds. Nice bounce from Nash as it'll stop. Still rolling on the turf down there. Ball rolls a little easier on the turf. Stops about the 36-yard line. The Vikings will have it moving left to right. They lead big here at home.
Yeah, so, Jack, I mean, I'm not too sure. Ever since that first touchdown by the Grizzlies, it's just felt like the Vikings have just been in total control.
Full control.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal with the big run there, I mean, kind of shifted a little bit back towards, you know, maybe a close ball game, but since then, it's just been the Vikings making play after play so far.
Gibson with 3 backs behind him. It's a fumble. Ball's on the turf, and diving on it is Chatham, as Chatham was the back the furthest from Gibson. He got the toss, dropped it on the deck, and Labette County had an opportunity right there to try to get back in it before half, but Chatham was right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Gibson kind of shuffled that one like that. That's one where you kind of just, you know, 2 hands trying to get it out there. You don't really want to shuffle that because that is kind of a far shuffle. I mean, it kind of looks like one of those tosses you do on a speed auction, just that little whoop, which it wasn't bad either. It's just mishandled the ball there, put the Vikings back a pretty good amount, say about 2nd and 25, 23.
38-15. Winfield in front with 4:30 left. A nice tackle here by Bradley Black, somebody we highlighted in the pregame show.
Yeah, he's been fighting all night on that edge. It's good to see him finally be able to make a play out there, as Gibson will just settle with a check down there. 3rd and a trip to St. Louis here. So that's quite a far ways to go here for the Vikings to get a first. They'll come out 5 wide.
Ball on the 23-yard line, and they have to get all the way out to the 46 for a first down. Ball hits the turf and bounces into the palms of Gibson. Flag flies, he'll slide and go down.
There by Black again.
It's going to be a hold on Winfield. We'll see what Labette County elects to do here. They're going to decline it, and it'll be 4th and 23, roughly, for Winfield.
Black with back-to-back nice plays out there. Kind of was looking out there to see which Grizzly defender was staying home there, as that was just a quarterback keeper. Run everyone deep, hope you get some room out there. Black does a nice job of containing him, and then eventually Gibson just gave himself up to him out there on that left side.
4th down and about 24 for Winfield. Their first punt of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Punt a little high. Jarman almost got his 2nd blocked punt of the year. He blocked one last week. On the return is Jet Stig.
No, not Stig. Sorry, I apologize. That was Deontay Fields, the kick returner as well. I apologize for that one.
I'm sure Jet wouldn't have minded us just pretending it was him.
I
mean, he slipped me a $10 bill earlier to say he scored a touchdown if we ran it in, but I'm just kidding. He didn't do that.
Yeah, Fields with a nice return there. Had a nice kickoff return as well. Coming off a great week last week, 2 interceptions in that win against Parsons. Has done a nice job so far for the Grizzlies this evening as well.
1st and 10 Labette County with an opportunity here before half. The ball is at the Viking 43. Right to left, our Grizzlies move. Jackson behind Wyrick. Has a bit of miscommunication there, but Jackson gets it cleanly and gets out to the 40. Maybe it was just hesitancy.
It's a counter play there. Kind of waited, let his guards get around, or his guard and tackle to get around there. It was a good-looking play. One of the more productive running plays from the Grizzlies, or better-looking ones early, in this first, or not. Sorry, as we approach halftime so far, it's been one of the better-looking plays for the Grizzlies ground attack.
Jamal Jackson with his feet in the grass at the 47. Gets the ball from his quarterback, plunges into the defensive line, out to the 35. So better, positive, progressive runs for Labette County. With 2:30 left in the half, they trail 38-15 with 3rd down and short on an advantageous field position situation before halftime.
Yeah, moving it now. And honestly, Jack, if you want to take a shot here, 3rd and short, this is probably a good spot to do so. If you're the Grizzlies, see if you can't catch the Vikings overly aggressive and find something down the field.
Aaron Wyrick claps his palms, takes the snap. Jamal Jackson submerges himself into the defensive front, gets the first down, gain of 4. 1st and 10 Labette County, 2:02, and the clock ticks away as Labette County awaits their play call.
Yeah, Vikings bringing on some more beef here as number 69 is going to trot on here, and I see him play nose tackle spot or a 3-tech. Either way, if I can find the number, it's going to be Devin Cayley, 6', 305 senior.
Jackson gets it in between the 2 and the 4 on his jersey from Wyrick, gets into the 2nd level, and then is pounded to the ground. Gain of 10 for Jamal Jackson. I believe that's another first down for Labette County, if not a gain of 9.5. They're going to say he didn't quite get it. 2nd down and about a couple feet. Minute 20 left in the half. Up-tempo Labette County. Another run. Jackson bounds in between the tackles. Gets more than enough down to the 15. 1st and 10 Grizzlies with a minute and 11 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, that Grizzly attack, they're having Stevens come over instead of that tackle, which I've been saying tackle, but it's been Stevens all night in that kind of H-back spot. Him and Hayward, not Hayward, the right guard, keep coming over, and Jackson's finding some room. Finally, getting some open space to work with.
Timeout, Coach Price. Labette County needs to score before half. They will get the ball to start the third quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Grizzly football.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKcradio.com.
Here's a pass for Wyrick to the end zone. Intercepted by Winfield.
That's exceptional corner play there by Hugo. Yeah, that was Hugo. I believe he's a senior as well. Nice play there. Or no, he's a junior.
Evan Hutto.
Jack, I'm off my rocker tonight.
Oh, that's okay. I'm always off my rocker. I just wanted to make sure that, we just said it correctly. That's mighty fine. The route looked there. Just a touch, maybe. It was well
I didn't
defended.
know if he meant to. Looked like just a slant, but he got behind the defender. Normally, we want to cut across the face of that defender, not go behind him. And it looked like Wyrick may have had a chance to kind of float it over the top.
Winfield with the fullback dive up the middle, churning his legs, driven backwards by number 80, Roper Whitley. Forward progress will get him out to the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 5 for the Vikings. We'll see if looks like they're just going to let the clock drip away. They lead 38-15. Boy, Labette County needed to score there really, really bad. 39 seconds and counting as Gibson runs back to his teammates in huddle. They break and address the football. 3 backs right behind him, 2nd down and 5. No receivers to the left or right. Everyone in blue inside the hashes. Gibson takes the snap. Left side, Davis stretches the field, gets to the 40, cuts it back inside, dives forward to the 44. A good progressive run by Jackson Davis with 13 seconds left on the clock.
Good tackle there by Nash to save that one. If Nash doesn't make that tackle there, maybe Jamal has a chance to get him after. I'd take that matchup as well there, but Nash does a nice job of a nice physical run there by Davis. Stopped by Nash down that left side.
38-15 is your halftime score from Winfield, Kansas. We'd like to invite you to stay tuned after this break for our Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, where we break down everything that happened in the first half and how Labette County can claw their way back into the game in half number 2. We'll start with a 5-minute break and come back with that Eye Care halftime show on KLKc Parsons.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Welcome back, Grizzly Nation, to Winfield, Kansas, on the campus of Southwestern College, home of the Jinx. But tonight, the Vikings of Winfield, the high school, plays at the college stadium here. Jack Leake, John Kohler, happy to be with you on the broadcast. Before we go any further, we'd like to thank a few sponsors for allowing our voices to be heard across the Labette County region back home. Tonight's sponsors include Labette Community College, Labette Health, Clemens Insurance Agency, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Tank Connection, Woodworth Enterprises, Labette Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Vollmer Cement Finishing, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, The Corner Store of Altamont, Olson Ace Hardware, SEK Orthopedics, Doctors Mosier and Meister, Community National Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Tank Connection, and Commercial Bank. Again, if you aren't familiar with possible streaming options for tonight's contest or for 106.7, our local radio station in Parsons, you can download a KLKc app on your, I know for sure, iPhone, and I would assume Android as well.
There's an app.
If you have a hard time finding it, try typing in V93 FM. That's V93 FM, as that is the other station out of Parsons. There's KLKc and V93. So type in, you guys are all techie out there, on the App Store, one of those two options, and you can find it, download it, and anytime, anywhere you have decent signal, I've always had good luck with it, you can tune in to 106.7 or V93 and listen to Fox Sports Radio or today's hits on V93. Download the app today. 38-15 is the halftime score here in Winfield. John, early on, Labette County was up 7-0, and since then they've been outscored 38-8. What broke down in the game script for our Grizzlies?
I mean, we just got down and it kind of forced our hand with some of the play calling. O-line struggled tremendously. You know, really allowing Jamal to have any room. The running game struggled, and as a result, passing game wasn't there. Vikings, I mean, they're just playing with a lot of energy defensively, rallying around the ball at the line of scrimmage. And it's just not been, you know, I hate to say it, Labette County's looked a lot like Parsons did last week. That's like the best way I can put it, Jack. I mean, they scored early off a big play like we did here tonight. And since then, there's just not been nothing. Now, I say this, but things were looking positive there on that last drive we had, right? Running the football. Jamal was finding some room. O-line was creating some space for him. So the second half, we're going to – I don't know how long we can rely on that running game, especially with the way Winfield's been marching up and down the field on us offensively. So far, it's been all three phases for the Grizzlies that have been really outmatched, outclassed by this Winfield Viking team. You know, they had a return touchdown, defensively, pick six, offensively, a beautiful 6-minute drive, scoring drive from their own 30. There hasn't been a spot of this Vikings, team that you could really pick on and say, oh, they've been, pretty bad so far tonight. It's been pretty sound over there.
They made up for that fumble on the second play of the game pretty darn quickly. I was happy, though, Labette County took advantage of that fumble. The offense on the sideline might have been thinking, okay, I might have a while before I have to come on the field and perform to open this game. And 10, 30, 40 seconds into the game, Wyrick, Jackson, you're on, and trot onto the field, whatnot, the offensive line. And I thought that they responded well. Was it the first or second play of the game offensively where Wyrick threw a dart to Bates for 15 yards to set up first and goal? So they came out sharp. After a 2-hour drive here, first road game, not expecting to be on the field for a while, came out sharp offensively. It was a good start for Labette County. Things just kind of broke down, and Winfield does it in such a slow way where it hurts more than if it was just quick.
Yeah, and as good as Wyrick was last week, it's not looked the same, at least from what I'm seeing right now. That pick six, it shouldn't have happened. It's just an errant ball high on a slant. You can't do that. It has to be lower. You got to bring the ball down. it's been like that, just a couple of things. He did have a nice rollout dump off to Johnson that was productive, positive, went for about 13 yards. So it's been good and bad with Wyrick so far. He does have a fumble as well. So certainly there's a lot to clean up offensively, but it's not been all bad. I mean, he scored 15 points in the first half, on pace for 30.
The first quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, first quarter at that. I mean, you just can't let up 38 points. That's the other side of things here, Jack. That's kind of the reality that we're finding ourselves in here. We let up 38 first half points, then again a pick six and a kickoff return. So negate, you still let up roughly 24 points there in that first half. You can't do that and expect to come out and win on the road, especially against a team that loves to run the ball like Winfield.
This is the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. 4 minutes until the second half begins. Winfield making their way onto the field. We're going to take a 2-minute break and come back with more of the halftime show on KLKc.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. The couple share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKcradio.com.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, to the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, live from Southwestern College in Winfield, Kansas, where the Vikings lead the Grizzlies 38-15. Jack Leake, John Kohler, happy to be with you. John, let's take a peek back mentally and for our audience at the Jamal Jackson 70-yard touchdown run as the clock expired in quarter number 1. After that touchdown and then the ensuing 2-point conversion was ran in by Jackson successfully, it was 18-15 Grizzlies, or Winfield, going into the second quarter. So in that second quarter, the Vikings outscored Labette County 20-0. However, let's take a look back at the end of that first quarter on that Jackson run. What did you see there?
Yeah, I mean, it was just the Viking not playing sound defense, wasn't in the right gap. I believe I struggled with it in the moment. I still don't know who it was. I thought I saw 61, but I think it was Mason Hoppus, the center. They pulled him around. He made a nice block out there, and Jackson found a different gap, went through it, just untouched. And it was kind of a shock to everyone, you know, here.
I was not expecting it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't expecting either, but I mean, you got to expect the unexpected with Jamal Jackson.
That's true.
I mean, he's an animal out there. One cut, and he's off to the races. The Vikings right after. I mean, they just answered with a I don't know what, 85-yard kickoff return touchdown. I mean, just stuff like that. You get a little bit of momentum, and it swings all the way back into the favor of the opponent. It makes it a little bit difficult, especially when you're on the road. But yeah, I mean, Jamal, that's just the player he is. He's going to find a way to get stuff done. Whether or not he may not have success on 8 plays, but that 9th one, it's going to be a big one. If that makes sense, Jack.
That makes perfect sense. And I was shocked that, to use your analogy, that 9th play never happened last week. Jamal was mighty close on many occasions to breaking away for long touchdown runs, but they never came last week. But Labette County was able to find success in other avenues of the game last Friday.
Yeah, and that's what's made it so difficult here today. I mean, these Viking, secondary players have just been draped all over these Grizzly receivers. I mean, we had the play to Johnson, which is, more of taking advantage of a linebacker there in coverage against Johnson. But Bates early on was open on the slant. It seemed like, Wyrick had Nash over here in the end zone before halftime if he just put a little bit more on it. But Wyrick's not looked sharp, and the Grizzlies really haven't been getting too much separation either at the receiver position. Certainly missing Heston out there running some routes as well. So the Grizzlies aren't at full strength at that position, and the Vikings are just, just winning the battle. They're winning the battles up front and in the skill positions.
Just under 2 minutes until the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams getting in one last hoorah with their head coaches. We're going to take one more 1-minute break and come back with third quarter action of Grizzly football on KLKc Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Up. And Labette County will move right to left to start the third quarter. Ball teed up at the middle of the 40-yard line. Kicker for Winfield, Jackson Davis. They have a lot of utility players, John. Jackson Davis and Dane Chatham for them, both listed as running backs and defensive backs, have done multiple things tonight for their squad that leads by 23 with 12 minutes left. 12 minutes put on the scoreboard to start the third quarter.
Oh, yeah. There's been 2 return touchdowns. I forgot about the punt return, Jack. There's a punt return in there as well. So this Viking special teams unit has done a nice job providing a nice boost for them and adding on to this lead.
Kicked by Davis. Lands at the 15, into the chest of Fields, gets across the 20. Pile driven by a group of Vikings out of bounds near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Fields earlier on threw that penalty by fielding that ball out of bounds. A smart, savvy player here for the Grizzlies. He's been pretty solid returning the ball so far. I've been kind of pleased with his performance throughout this one. We'll see what the Grizzly offense has in store to open things up here to start the second half.
As Labette County, is kind of silly as this might sound, but it's true. They're down 3 scores. If they get the 2-point conversion each time, 24 points would give them the lead.
Yeah, you don't back a Grizzly into a corner. and come out unscathed. So we'll see what happens.
1st and 10, Labette County, right to left, they march. Ball left hash. Jackson, the carrier.
We'll get away from the initial contact made by, I believe that's Kaylee, the defensive tackle. We kind of arm tackled him. Jackson shrugged it off. That time, power to the right. Good looking play initially. I mean, he picked up about 3 yards there, so positive gain for the Grizzlies.
Ball now rotates to the middle of the field. Good yards after contact for Jamal there. Same set for Labette. Quick snap, goes to Jamal. Runs left side, has room, breaks a couple tackles, and then has his ankles wrapped up after getting the first down. Davis on the tackle. Jackson, with a gain of about 12, out to their own 40-yard line are the Grizzlies.
I don't even want to call it a counter, but they're pulling 2 people there. The H-back and Stevens, he's coming around, and so is the right guard. I believe that's Jeremiah Lane. She's playing guard for the Grizzlies. He's out there pulling as well, and they're finding some room.
2 receivers to the right for Labette County, but they just run it up the middle with Jackson again. A gain of 1 for the junior running back. Pretty exciting to think we get another year of Jamal Jackson, his senior year next year.
Yep, and a lot of these guys are going to be coming back as well.
Offensively, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll lose Broadwell, but I believe that's it. Offensively, a lot of underclassmen playing.
On defense, a lot of guys will disappear, but a lot of
new faces.
A lot of young hope for sure already put on display this year in the underclass. Jackson gets another crack at it on 2nd and long, does a nice job of protecting the football. He's hit and brought down for a gain of 3. 3rd down and mid for Labette County now, near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Grizzlies ground attack showing signs of life here. Continuing the momentum from that first half, or late in that first half on that last drive. Finally finding some, working sets and concepts, in the run game so far. This will be interesting down here. Obviously you want to convert this, but if you don't, it's still a long second half to go.
It's a run for Labette County. Jackson gets inside the tackles, gets to the 50. 1st down, Labette County. Wow, kind of a bit of a delayed handoff, a draw type feel to it. Good play from Coach Price and company.
Yeah, that was a counter there. It's a nice job, nice and patient. Lets Lange get up in front of him, take on that Viking defender, and squirts forward there, pick up that 1st down.
1st and 10, midfield for the Grizzlies. Ball on the left hash. Nothing but runs on this drive for Labette County.
Jack, you'll never guess what I just did.
Can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Here's Jackson, gain of 4, maybe 5. Labette County running the ball well this quarter here early. 8:50 left in the 3rd quarter as the clock has stopped. And I'm not sure why, but that'll give us a moment to find out what John Kohler found out.
Oh, my goodness. Wyatt Capley, I would like to apologize to you, young man, if you're listening to this. I was looking at the wrong roster. I had the Winfield one out in front of me. I didn't even realize it. So, Wyatt Capley, you sir are doing a nice job of pulling around here, clearing the path for Jamal Jackson.
2nd and 5, Jackson with room again into the secondary, out to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, Labette County approaching it in a different manner than one would think, and I agree with it, and I like it. You down 23, 2nd half, got to pass, got to panic, got to get back in this quick. One play at a time. Own the trenches, run the ball, get back in this thing.
Yeah, and we saw moments like this last week as well against, this O-line playing extremely well at times. It's been very inconsistent so far tonight, but it looks like they're finally stringing something together up front.
Wyrick takes the snap, gives it to Jackson, left side, has grass, has turf, gets to the 20, inside the 15, tackled around his shins down to the 13-yard line. Jamal Jackson with a burst of speed around the left hash.
Yeah, when you're combining, your O-line finally having success with a runner like Jackson, he's going to fight through these arm tackles of these Vikings and have success. like that one. I mean, we saw him break one off earlier. That one looked like it had a chance, but either way, a nice play there for the Grizzlies. Set them up with 1st and 10 here from the 14 of the Vikings.
A really polished opening to the third quarter. This is fun to watch. 7-18 and counting, 38-15 Winfield. Labette County driving, though, in the red zone. Wyrick, delayed handoff again. Jackson
Fighting through
finds
there.
a gap that I didn't even see. I thought he was getting tackled at the 12, and I look over, and there's Jackson at the 8-yard line. Wow.
Yeah, and we talked last week about him being injured or hampered last year, not being able to lift weights. Got a full offseason of lifting, being able to squat finally. And we're seeing that come through here with his power and agility right there to fight through some Viking defenders and find a hole.
Almost a 6-minute drive for Labette County. Very methodical. Owning the Vikings up front is Labette County's offensive line. Broadwell, Reed, Hayward, Kepley, Hoppus doing great things. Jackson tossed to the left, keeps it left, inside the 8, down to the 7. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 for Labette County, who has put together a really nice drive.
Yeah, the Vikings sent the house there. Price called a quick audible, let Wyrick know what was going on, and they audible to that toss there. And I believe that was Elliott, that right end there, had a chance to stop Jackson. He just kind of threw him off there, made a squirt forward, gained about 6.
3rd down and 3. Labette County hungry. Receiver left, receiver right. Snap. Wyrick, they'll run again. Why not? Jackson runs in to the belly button of a defensive lineman for the Vikings. Gain of 1. 4th down and 3. Devin Cayley, the tackler there for Winfield, with 5:30 left in the third. 4th and 3 at the Winfield 5.
Yeah, had Kaylee not made that play there, it looked like Jackson was going to have a lot of grass out here, or a lot of turf out here to work with on that outside. Probably could have just walked in, honestly, had Kaylee not made that play.
It's 4th down, Viking fans. Make some noise.
4th down here at Winfield. Labette County needs to score on this play, or at least get the first, to keep their faint hopes alive. They're going to run it again up the middle. Jackson with
Be close.
a burst of his legs, as it's going to be real close. The far judge, it looks like he's short, and the near judge, it looks maybe like he's a little closer. They're going to have to measure.
They're sending on the defense, at least Labette County, as they think they didn't get it. Looked promising. I mean, I just thought they may have tried to measure it, but I guess, it's close.
A 7-minute, 3-second drive for Labette County comes to a halt at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what sucks about these long drives, especially if you come up short. You just wasted 7 minutes there, and you're just unable to put points on the board when you find yourself down 3 scores here in the second half. We'll see the Vikings coming out with that same, 3-back set out in the back, just looking to pound away at this clock.
Gibson, the quarterback. More of a quarterback sneak look here from the Vikings. He'll gain about 4 right up the heart of the field.
Gibson, quarterback keeper up the middle.
Yeah, that keeper early on in that first half looked really good, really good. There was a couple runs from 10-plus or more, and you just don't usually see that. It looks like the Grizzlies have adjusted here. They still got a pretty good push from that interior front to gain 5 or 4 here. Grizzlies are really going to have to step up the run defense, though.
Second down and a long 6, 4:15 third quarter. Gibson well under center. Labette County with a big defensive front push, but they'll go outside the tackles, across the 20, well across the first down line, across the 30. There is a flag down in the backfield. Laying down dead at the 13-yard line is the yellow flag. Referees will converse for a moment and decide on the call. Typically, this will be on your offense. We shall see, but Winfield's had good luck with those little counters out to the left, or mainly to the left, actually, side of the line.
It's just been really, truly, honestly, just a zone left. Just outside zone, letting those 2 other backs lead the way for him. it's just been open grass. Davis has some speed. We saw earlier with that punt return touchdown. We'll see it here again with that big run there. It's unfortunately a drive-killing penalty there. Big play. You get a penalty on you. It just sucks if you're a Viking fan right now.
3:54, clock runs. It was on Winfield, 2nd down and 9 at their own 4. Pass play, not many of those tonight. Gibson throws a dart. It's caught by Hutto across the 15. Spins off of a couple Grizzlies backs out to the 20 to give his team some breathing room.
Yeah, it looked like Madden there, just having that B button. Couple spins there will add to his yardage, gain him about another 5 more. Good rollout play there, just a simple hook pattern there. 10 back to 8. Found some open grass out there. Gibson with a strike. Vikings marching.
38-15 is still the score. At the end of the first quarter, it was 18-15 Winfield. And at halftime, still the same as it is now, 38-15 home team. Timeout, Labette County. First called by either coach. First stoppage of play after 9 continuous minutes of play. Back in 1 minute, this is Grizzly football on KLKc.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKcradio.com.
Just before we returned from that commercial break, Camden Good had a great pass deflection on a 35-yard pass attempt from Gibson. Camden Good with really nice defensive back coverage that was tested for the first true time tonight just then on the long, rare pass from Winfield. So 2nd and 10 for the home team, the Vikings. Labette County sends heat. There's that left zone again, swallowed, buried in the backfield this time is Davis, the ball carrier. A few different Grizzlies back there. Jarman, Whitley, Black, the linebacking unit in the backfield. Do you have a score update for us, the Parsons-Fort Scott game?
I did not see one right now. I'll assume we'll get one here in a couple minutes, but at the half it was Fort Scott up 14-6. You know, SEK matchup, some folks may want to keep an eye on. You know, our friends at 93.5, they're covering that one. While we're here covering the Grizzlies here in Winfield.
2:15 third quarter. Winfield passing it again. Gibson rolls out right, throws across his body, and almost found Hutto at the 42, who was having a tightrope walk the white-colored sideline.
Yeah, and he was wide open as well up there. And Gibson does a nice job of not really trying to force him to the sideline there. Try to give Hutto some room to work with. Had he been able to come back and make that play, smart decision by Gibson. But, man, when Gibson gets out there, there's just wide open people all over the field for Gibson to choose from. That time a little bit more coverage than we saw earlier on that touchdown at midfield on that right side in a similar play.
4th down and long. Winfield punts it low and wobbly. Caught by Nash at the 42. Jabs to the inside and leans through a group of tacklers to the 45 of Winfield. So Labette County's going to try to score for the first time since the first quarter on this drive, coming in 30 seconds on KLKc.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Jamal Jackson with a run for no gain brings up second down and 10. Labette County trails Winfield 38-15. Wyrick's going to unload one to the right side of the field, and it hit the palm of Nolan Nash near the 15-yard line. Really well-placed ball. Nolan just couldn't lasso it in.
Yeah, that one certainly had a chance. I don't know if he's unable to quite get that other hand on it, or if it was too far out there. Real time, it looked like he may have had a shot at and get both hands on it, just unable to do so there. Partly due to the fact of the coverage of Hutto as well. Either way, good ball from Wyrick there. Grizzlies taking a shot there in 2nd and 10.
3rd and 10 now. They give to Jackson. Met in the backfield, still fighting for every inch of yardage possible, but lost a couple there. 4th down and a dozen for Labette County's offense. Boy, you got to love Jamal Jackson's heart as he was hit near midfield and still fought for every yard.
Yeah, and that counter they had, that's the same play they've been gashing the Vikings on here in the second half. As we saw earlier on that last possession, that time Vikings able to come up and make a play there on 3rd and 10 and force a punting situation for the Grizzlies here, who instead choose to go for, as they should, down 3 scores here towards the start of the 4th quarter.
Wyrick in the gun, 3-step drop, hit as he throws. It's a good one, caught! 1st down, Grizzlies. Kagan Bates on the reception.
And that's what Wyrick can do. His footwork's good enough where he can kind of step back here and manipulate the defenders rushing. And when you're able to create some more time for yourself there, you're able to therefore read the field better. He's looking at Nash, got off him, managed to find Bates on that out route. We saw him try to do that earlier in the game here on a pivotal 3rd down in that first half, just unable to connect. This time Bates with a little bit more room. Wyrick manages to find him.
Labette County is going to let the clock run out to end the 3rd quarter. Labette County playing a better 3rd quarter. They could be in the 20s on this drive with their points, but on the first drive for them in the 3rd quarter, they were stopped at the 3-yard line. So Labette County still searching for that first score in quarter number 3. And they're going to have to make it quarter number 4, as that's the end of the 3rd. We'll be back in a minute on KLKc.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
V93.
A score update for you within the confines of the SEK League. Parsons trails Fort Scott 22-6.
Tigers pulling away with that one, it looks like. Perhaps, who knows. Parsons do have a big playability.
Second down and long for Labette County after a negative run for Jackson. And there's another negative run for our running back there. Just hit hard in the backfield. Nothing he can do there. Third down and about 18 for Labette County as the fourth quarter is underway.
Yeah, you just see, 6 or 7 white jerseys just, past the line of scrimmage, and about 8 blue jerseys on Jamal there. It's just kind of been how it's went for the Grizzlies so far. Outside of a couple plays, this has been, an evenly matched, matchup tonight. Take away that punt return touchdown, the kick return touchdown. Grizzlies are only down 1 score.
Right.
And say, they managed to punch it in there at the 3-yard line.
Third and long. Wyrick, good pocket, throws across the middle. It's overthrown, but right idea. Nash.
I think Nash, yeah. He definitely got tugged on there, and that's kind of what he was looking around for. I don't blame him. Obviously, Coach Price is going to tell him, just go try to make a play there, regardless of the tug. I don't know if it would have been flag-worthy, but there's certainly some hands going on down the field with Nash.
Yeah, the ball wasn't very far off from where it needed to be. It did seem like Nash was stalled a little bit by the defender. Was it a flag or good defense? I guess I don't know, but the ball was placed about where it should have been. Winfield sending heat. A flag flies as Wyrick's going to be sacked at the 50 by Mason.
I don't know if they're going to get a holding here. I mean, that's a pretty quick play. I'd be false start. Labette County, that's going to be declined here.
They keep letting these false start plays keep going. I thought that a false start was blown dead unless it's like a timing thing.
That could be what it is as well, but I don't know. We'll have to go dig us up a Acacia rule book, find the rule on that one.
Every year, I learn like 2 new rules that I never knew existed.
It's all right. We're young. I mean, we don't know. I'm sure there's someone watching this right now. Like, come on, guys. It's common sense.
Oh, yeah. First and 10, Winfield at the 50, moving right to left. They lead by 23 over Labette County. 10:20 left in the game. And John's right. This game's really only separated, by 2 plays on special teams. And that's not counting some of the other things Labette County's done to shoot themselves in the foot. So they've played okay. Just a few of those plays Winfield's really made them pay. For the last time tonight, as Winfield calls a timeout, we'd like to thank some sponsors for making our broadcast possible. As always, Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Labette Health, Olson Ace Hardware, Vollmer Cement Finishing, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Gilmore, Newland, and Ray, the Corner Store of Altamont, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, the Corner Store of Altamont, Commercial Bank, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, and Clemens Insurance Agency. Really nice night, a little warmer than last week whenever it was at home in Altamont. No wind tonight as all the lights are on here at the stadium. As if you're just joining us, earlier this week there was chatter this game might be moved to Altamont and played at home for Labette County because some of the lights weren't working here at the stadium. An end around for Winfield. Davis, the carrier, he'll gain almost 10. There is a flag down back at the 45-yard line, right where Davis got the ball on the reverse. Here comes the flag. It is a personal foul, maybe head-to-head or helmet-to-helmet contact initiated. Yep.
I'm not gonna insinuate what happened there because I really didn't see too much going on. Just kind of focus on that reverse there as Davis, when he's had the ball in his hands, he's done some pretty nice things, and we saw it there kind of slicing and dashing his way forward out there on that right side. Would have been a first down. I guess it still is first down, but this time it's like 1st and 25.
It was a 15-yard penalty on Winfield. Under 10 minutes left in the ball game. Gibson takes a knee-high snap. He'll tuck it on his left armpit, run. Hit hard by Labette County. Bradley Black on the initiation alongside Nolan Nash and Matthew Jarman. Picked up a little bit of the penalty that hurt them moments ago, so 2nd down and almost 20.
Yep, so far the Vikings have done a pretty good job of just, maintaining these positive plays. I know they just had the penalty, but outside of that, maybe an errant toss play, they really haven't gone back too much, and that's what you'd like to see when you're in control of this game.
2nd down and 20, 9:08 left in the game. 2 backs behind Gibson. The second one in line gets it. Gets across the first level. Second out to the 40. Pushed out of bounds by Deontay Fields near the 30-yard line. Ball carrier Cale Lindenman. 1st down, Winfield.
Good cut by Lindenbaum to get up in the hole. And from there, you let the speed do the rest. Good pursuit from that opposite corner spot by Deontay Fields, who had a nice game last week. This time, I feel like he's really done a nice job as well. Then again, the secondary of the Grizzlies hasn't really been challenged too much, but they've done a nice job of coming up and making tackles. Field showing some heart and hustle there, coming across the field to make a play.
Gibson puts it into the chest plate of the ball carrier Chatham. Gain of about 7. Winfield picking up chunk yardages now. Labette County being pushed off the jump.
Yeah, the Vikings are just wheeling and dealing right now, running the football. This O-line of the Vikings has to have some smiles on their faces, as it's just been continuous 5 yards, 6 yards, 10 yards, just pop after pop after pop. This Grizzly defense is being worn out by this rushing attack.
2nd down and 1. Winfield has had a lot of 2nd down and 1s tonight. Those are always nice to have. Chatham around the left side stood up. Nice tackle at the 20-yard line by Camden Good. 1st down for Winfield, however, but Good with a nice tackle.
Yeah, Good and Field so far, they've really done a tremendous job. I mean, Good all night has been getting off his block and making tackles. I mean, probably has 3 or 4 tackles, but they've been in moments like that where, if I don't get off my block, he's probably going to get up and probably score there. So Good's done a nice job of locking down that outer half.
8:20 left in the game. Both teams taking a slower run-first approach in the second half. Gibson in the backfield being thrown down is Lindenman. 2 Grizzlies back there. Man, their presence in the backfield has been felt more.
There's a flag being thrown really late here. Yeah, Roper Bradfield, a senior. I believe he dove on that fumble to start the game as well. So another play Roper's made tonight. Good to see.
As our first extracurricular penalty, it's going to be taunting on Winfield. So that'll back up the Vikings, make it 2nd down and long with 8 minutes left in the game. Nobody has scored in the second half after 53 points were scored by both these teams combined in the first half.
We'll mark that penalty off. Replay the down.
Well, another 15-yard penalty on the Winfield Vikings this time, as it looks a little bit longer than 15 yards, Jack. I guess it's from where it happened, so.
2nd down and extremely long for Winfield. Empty set for Gibson. 3 receivers left. 1 shifts into the slot at the left hash. 2 receivers right. That makes 5 receivers. Quick pass, caught, tackle instantly. Hutto.
Just a little stick route, nothing crazy. Just keeping this drive moving forward, making it a little bit easier on yourself. You're still going to have to go international, to get this first down, but makes it a little bit easier on yourself, and you're keeping the clock moving. That's what you want to do here if you're the Vikings.
Bradley Black, the tackler. It is 3rd and almost 20, right around there for Winfield. As a topic of our Bowen Pharmacy postgame show is going to be the plays that got this game out of hand. This game wasn't necessarily decided by each play being beaten down by Winfield, but a couple massive ones. We'll break those down later. Here's a trick play, a toss, and then a
Good
pass.
coverage.
Well defended on the far side of the field. Is that Deontay Fields over there?
You better believe it.
Him and Good are great corners. As that was a toss and a pass, Davis turned into the quarterback, and Fields batted it down.
Yeah, Davis initially had him, held onto the ball a little bit too late, and Fields comes up, makes a nice play, swatting it away. Another big play Fields has made so far tonight. He's done a nice job in the return game. Made a couple key tackles as well. Good, the other sophomore corner has as well. Those two have been exceptional tonight defensively for the Grizzlies.
6:54 left in the game. 4th and 20 for Winfield. They lead 38-15. They're going to go for it. Gibson with a back to his left. Steps forward to the 35. Takes a belt high snap. 4-step drop. Pass. Catch. 25. Hit. Bouncing backwards. Still on his feet at the 20
Good
and then
tackle.
pulled down at the 17. Sticking with it is Labette County's defense, but a great effort by Jackson Davis.
I believe that was good coming over and having to wrap him up there. Terrific play call by the Vikings, kind of letting Gibson drop back. He hasn't really done it so far tonight, and that defensive line of the Grizzlies eager to make a play, come forward, allowing that screen to open up in the middle, and Davis showing off his dynamic running there, shaking off just the horde of Grizzlies that patrolled upon him, and Good being the one to have to make a play there.
1st down and 10, Labette County forcing their second turnover of the night. They got a fumble earlier and now force a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. One shallow safety at the 28. Snap, run. Jackson sweeps it to the right. Loss of 1.
1, 2, 3. There are 5 blue jerseys on Jackson right there. That's kind of been how it's been all night. This Viking defense has played with a lot of energy, and I've really, ran to the ball with a lot of pursuit, and it's been, if you're a defensive guy, it's kind of been a fun game to watch if you're a Viking fan as well.
2nd down and 11 for Labette County, trying to progress their way down the field, get some reps in, try to score. In the second half, Jackson
It's just that
swallowed up in the backfield for a loss of 3 or 4. 3rd down and long for Labette County now.
the Grizzlies are just unable to kind of block off that backside. I mean, that's where this pursuit has been coming from, and the Vikings are just firing off the ball. The line of the Grizzlies can't quite push down there, get a hand on them, and as a result, Jackson's taking these loss of yards.
Pass for Wyrick, caught at the 20, leaning forward to the 22-yard line
Another little
is Kagan Bates. So 4th down and manageable for Labette County with 5:20 left in the contest. They trail 38.
taking
15.
taking advantage of the leverage there. That outside backer went with that flat route, and that safety is too deep, so Bates just kind of settled in there on that stick. And when he gets the ball with him, Jack, he's honestly pretty shifty with it. We saw it last week with those 2 touchdowns. He can make a couple guys miss.
High snap for Wyrick, pump fakes, throws, gonna have to get it, and leaning
believe he
forward and getting the 1st down, catching it at the line of scrimmage and falling forward was Camden Good.
Yeah, Good. Big catch last week early on as well. Shown out again here on offense after, I believe he was the one that made the tackle. I'm sure I'll be corrected if he didn't, but he made the tackle to force the turnover on downs. Come back out on offense and making a play as well. Wyrick showing some improv there. It's a nice job of finding a new man.
He really does a nice job of not panicking. Wyrick's going to throw
ball.
one deep
Ooh.
right, and never seeing it was Camden Good, but I think it was a little too far over his head anyway. Wyrick has a cannon. Now, look, I know I wouldn't say he's a gunslinger, like Kendall Holtzman was. That looked like an effortless throw, and it was from the left hash and landed over here by deep into Winfield's sideline.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people say he doesn't really have an arm, but that's a hard throw to make.
Yes.
Like, once you get out there and do it yourself, you're like, oh, maybe he does have a little bit stronger arm than what I thought. But he throws with anticipation. Let's put it that way. As Jackson's going to get loose here, make a Viking miss and run forward, or plunge forward, I should say, for about a gain of 7.
4:10 left in the contest. Jackson had to evade multiple Vikings in the backfield before he could gain a handful of yardage. 3rd down and 6 for Labette County.
I'll have to get my eyes checked. I said a gain of 7. Only got 4 there. So, yeah, the run game's look drastically better than it did in the first half.
High snap for Wyrick again. Gets the handoff off to Jackson. Gain a half a step there on that one. So 4th and 6 coming up for the Grizzlies.
He's tackled by number 44,
yeah, and
Elias Moon.
I'm going to go ahead and say, Winfield's going to win this one. You fall back to 1-1. There's some positives to really take away from this one, Jack. I mean, the second half, the O-line played way better. You had a long 7-minute drive that just got stumped. You're having some success here a little bit. I mean, you put yourself in a position to have a chance in this one, and it's unfortunate a couple plays just didn't go your way.
Yeah.
And as a result, you're down 23.
It's a little bit closer than it looks. I certainly agree. Flag flies as a pass falls incomplete for Labette County. Kagan Bates, the intended target. Another false start's going to be called, and the play was allowed to continue. I'm just curious. Maybe it's not false start. Maybe it's like illegal procedure, illegal motion. It's just, I don't know. So 1st and 10 Winfield. As, yeah, this drive might be the last of the evening unless something funky shall take place. 2:58 left in this one.
Yeah, as we'll see some new faces come onto the field. At least for the Grizzlies side of things. Vikings, I believe Gibson's still out there under center. The Vikings did have a very good day today. They've been very efficient on offense. Defense, they've been everywhere. Grizzlies sitting in the house here as they're hanging on and wrangling around our couple Grizzlies. Whitley being one of them. I believe initially it was Jarman, both Jarmans in there.
Yeah, Labette County's still playing really aggressive and doing a really nice job, as I can't tell you how many times in the second half Winfield has been behind the sticks. I mean, they've had multiple occasions where it's been 2nd and 15, 3rd and 25, or 2nd and 11, 3rd and 11. So Labette County's done a good job of continuing to apply. Second down and 19 for Winfield. No receivers set out for the team in blue. The snap bobbled on the ground, and Gibson's going to fall on it at the 42-yard line. So 3rd down and long now for Winfield, who's gotten a little bit careless with the football in this 4th quarter.
So this clock's going to continue to tick away here. I think the Grizzlies will have a chance to have one more possession before things are said and done here.
Labette County next week will go to Pittsburgh, Kansas to take on the Purple Dragons. Tank Connection pregame show live at 6:40. You can find us on this station, 106.7, or KLKc on YouTube. You can watch and hear me and John. Handoff for Winfield, bounding in and out of the tackles is Lindenman. Driven backwards by a host of Grizzlies. 4 or 5 Grizzlies in on that tackle.
Stevens did a nice job there getting push. And he's from the interior spot as well. Forced that back to have to cut in, and there's just a horde of Grizzlies just waiting for him. Or a pack of Grizzlies, I should say.
There you go.
Improving the terminology here. But yeah, a good play from Stevens to force him to cut back into the arms of the waiting defenders. I believe Dewey was in there on the tackle as well. There's a couple of other names. Stevens, Cole Stevens, I should say.
30 seconds left. This Winfield offense is going to try to get Labette County to jump, and they did, but was it before Winfield jumped? As Labette County clearly crossed the line but pointed to Winfield, and it is a false start on the Vikings.
They blew that one dead, Jack. I think they had to, as Grizzlies are coming forward, and it was pretty blunt there on that left side. 28 seconds left. Vikings going to improve to 2-0 after this one. Don't know who's next on their schedule. They're just going to let the clock run out here. I mean, I don't.
Yep, the game clock is going to run out before the play clock, so Labette County will go to 1-1 on the season. They're going to snap it on 4th down and long, so Labette County will get one more play, I believe, as a flag flies, because why not?
Yeah, let's just add, you know, let's just hear from you. That's what we're going to do. There, as I believe the ball carrier's new man in, Zach Rubel, wide receiver and defensive back for the Vikings.
Turnover on downs will stop the clock. Labette County will fall to 1-1 on the season. Again, play at Pittsburgh next Friday night. 38-15 is the score here. We'll see if Labette County kneels it or tries to do something fun here to end the game here. They'll get it near midfield, moving left to right, as the team has to walk all the way onto the field to snap the ball one time in a losing effort. And I mean it, effort. They still continue to play well all 4 quarters, play hard, and yeah, I mean, I'll stand by the point that this game fell apart whenever those special teams touchdowns happened for Winfield. They hurt unlike any other touchdown.
In the, end zone thing earlier, yeah, Grizzlies not do themselves any favors in this one.
High snap for Wyrick. He'll take a home run ball that's overthrown, and he'll get one more try with 2 seconds on the clock. It was a long pass, landed at the right hash near the 25-yard line. One more play for Labette County to finish up tonight's game. An injured Viking stands up, and his teammate pulled him up and probably said, look, we got to get out of here. Don't lay down on this one. I'll help you up, partner.
So I'm sure the conversation went something like that.
Last play of the game from Winfield. Wyrick with Jackson behind him takes another high snap, pressured, throws it left, it's caught, getting across the 50, still on his feet and fighting out of bounds on the far side of the field is Nolan Nash to finish out tonight's contest. 38-15, Winfield goes to 2-0, Labette County to 1-1, and has a date with those stingy Purple Dragons at Pittsburgh next Friday. We're going to step aside for a 2-minute break and come back with the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show on KLKc.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
All right. Did they catch the earlier part of it? Are we good to go? Okay, sorry.
We had a live stream issue. Go ahead, John.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. First touchdown drive for Winfield. This game was much closer than what we thought it was. And when you really think about it, Labette County really gave this one away. First one, long drive, right, whatever. Then they had a pick six, right, so there's 2. Then I believe it was a botched punt attempt by the Grizzlies. That's 3 touchdowns. The punt return. I believe the pass down here on this right side.
Did you mention the kickoff return for touchdown?
Oh, and the kickoff. There you go. Vikings scored 6 touchdowns, 2 of which were legitimate offensive possessions.
Right.
So, I mean, when you look at that, it's like this game should have been way closer than what it should have been. But in that same breath, like if a couple of those plays didn't happen, the Vikings still have possession, so who knows how they would have turned out.
The argument is, well,
that's assuming you get a stop,
yes,
that play doesn't happen.
The argument would be those plays changed Winfield's approach to the game. They might have played more aggressive, maybe even perhaps a more liberal game script and got after it a little bit harder if those things didn't happen, so certainly. But the point is, don't miss it. Labette County assisted Winfield with many of their points this evening by just kind of sloppy things and that we know can be taken care of. I still continue to be really impressed and pleased with Aaron Wyrick. When he has a pocket, and the O-line is very strong, when he has a pocket, even when he's pressured, he stays really composed and delivers really nice balls from that backfield.
Yeah, Jackson had a huge touchdown run as well.
Yep.
Outside of a couple, bugaboos by Wyrick, he really didn't play too bad. Came back, battled back in that second half, had a nice ball to Bates on the right side. Made a couple other plays as well. Missed a couple. He had a nice deep ball to Nash on the right side as well. Nolan Nash played all right when he had the ball in his hands. Good field day. I mean, there's a couple of things you can look at, but, there's stuff to build on here for the Grizzlies. O-line,
oh my,
they improved in that second half. I think still inconsistent a little bit. They're going to want to have to tweak some things, maybe, I don't know the words to put it, make some adjustments or something in the way they approach, certain run plays. I don't know. Fine-tune things. Let's say that. Fine-tune some things.
It feels like this year it's more so tweaks and adjustments. Let's tighten this screw a little bit. Let's loosen this screw a little bit. Let's shift you here and you here. There we go. That looks better. Compared to in the past, it's like, whew.
Got to change everything.
We got to sit down at the table here. Much improved ball club. Much improved ball club. It's fun to watch. Fun to watch them work all 4 quarters, every single play. John, any closing statements as tonight's Bowen Pharmacy postgame show comes to an end?
On to Pittsburgh. You can't look too hard at this one. You got to, move on and get, start prepping for Pittsburgh, a much tougher opponent, a 5A school, up to the northeast. You haven't beat them yet. I mean, I don't think it was last year close. It would have been the year before. Okay.
A couple years ago, we almost got them on the road.
So they're going to have a chance to do that next Friday. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I'm excited. This Grizzly team is way different than previous years. You feel like you have the pieces here to be successful.
Right.
Jamal Jackson's a huge reason. Aaron Wyrick, Nolan Nash, those guys. And we didn't even mention, Barrett Heston being out as well. So you're a little bit banged up. You're going to get some guys back as well. You're going to walk into, Pittsburgh, Kansas with a fully loaded gun, per se.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have all your weapons available.
That will be when the next broadcast takes place, 6:40 p.m. next Friday, September 20th. Labette County falls 38-15 on the road at Winfield. They fall to 1-1 on the year. Winfield goes to 2-0 on the season. For Caleb McKee and John Kohler, my name's Jack Leake saying so long from Winfield, Kansas. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, God bless.